In this video, I want to show you how you can make money from free users using Google AdMob inside of your Lovable mobile application. It's super simple to set up, so let's take a look at this right now. So Google AdMob allows you to place Google advertisements inside of your mobile application, and then Google is giving you a revenue share of the ad revenue that they are generating inside of your application. So you're giving Google the billboard, they run the ads, other people pay Google for the billboard, and then they pay you rent for the billboard. And the rent is a cut of the advertisement money that they're making from using your app as a billboard. So it's pretty cool. You want to create an account for that. That's how you monetize it. So I already have an account. It's a new account, and I'll walk you through the entire setup for that. So first of all, we need to set this up. So we need to get our Lovable application that we have in Lovable here to a point where we can actually integrate the native Google AdMob SDK. The way to do that is using Despia. Despia will allow you to turn your Lovable web app into a native mobile application, and then you can run a little bit of JavaScript to access native AdMob functionalities. And that's how simple that is. So as you can see, I already have my Lovable project set up in Despia. It's very simple. And then you go to Google AdMob Monetization, and you're just going to enable this in Despia. And then you need the iOS public app ID, the iOS rewarded ID, the Android public app ID, and the Android rewarded ID. Now, while you're testing, never use your real IDs, otherwise your AdMob account will be disabled and you could be banned and blocked. So for testing, you want to look for the latest test IDs, which I did here, using the help of AI. So you can see there is an iOS app ID. We're just going to use the test IDs for this video. I'm still going to show you how you can use the real ones, but only use the real ones once your application is on the App Store. Never do real ones while you're testing, because if you click on the real ones, they can think like, hey, you're trying to get money from clicking on ads yourself. This is against our guidelines. You're banned. So you don't want to risk that. Always use test ones while you're testing. So let's copy the test iOS one, and we're going to go to Despia, and we'll paste it here under the app ID. And then we'll take the test Android one for the app ID, and we'll go back to Despia, and we'll paste the Android public app ID inside of here. And then we take the rewarded ID, so we have the iOS rewarded unit. We're going to copy this here, and now we're going to paste this here under the iOS rewarded inside of Despia. And then we'll take the Android rewarded, and we're going to copy this one in here, and we are going to go back to Despia, and we're going to paste the rewarded inside of here. So that's it. That's the entire setup you need to do. Now, because we did do some changes to the native code for iOS and Android, we now need to rebuild the app for Apple iOS and Google Android. So let's start with iOS. We'll just publish project, and we'll just rebuild the application. Now, while this is rebuilding, we can already set up some of the other stuff. So let me walk you through how you set up the actual apps now. To set up the actual apps, you're just going to go on Apps here in Google AdMob. And then, of course, please add your payment information so they can pay you. But you're just going to add your first app inside of here. We'll start with iOS. No, it's not on the store yet. And then you just put your app name in here. Let's do Task Flow. Let's add the app. There you go. And let's go on Done. And now we have this all nicely set up. So now if you add an ad unit, you just select Rewarded, right? Those are full page ads, that will reward the user when they watch it fully. And then let's just call this reward. We just keep the settings simple. You can adjust them to your liking, and then you will get this app ID here, right? This ID would be placed inside of here for iOS, and then you're also getting this ID here for the rewarded implementation. This would be placed inside of here in Despia. But only do this once your app is live, and then rebuild it and then publish that to the App Store. Make sure that gets approved by Apple and all the changes are made. Never use the test version on the App Store, obviously, and never use the live version in test, because that can cause some troubles. Because if you click on your advertisements, Google, somebody paid for those advertisements. And if they see, oh, they're in test mode and they're clicking and clicking and clicking, they may suspend your account for that. So I can't emphasize this enough. Now, of course, you're not going to suspend your account if you accidentally click on it once or twice. But if you make this a habit, this can be problematic, especially if you have like 10, 15 users on test flight and they're clicking on the ads, and they see it's in test mode. This can cause some issues when it's not on the store. But we go on done, and this is how you create this ad unit for your iOS app. And then you would create another app here for Android. And then we'll do Android. No, it's not on the store yet. Very likely for you the case. We'll do task flow. We'll give it the app name. And now this is also set up. And then we also need to create an ad unit for this for the rewarded ones. This one here. And then we'll just call this reward. And then we're just going to create an ad unit here. And then again, we would copy this Android app ID and would paste it inside of here. And we would copy this rewarded Android ID and we would paste this inside of here. But for this example, I'm going to use test because I don't want my account blocked. Now, and then you can find the test IDs all over the internet. So let's go on done. Now we would have the live ones, but please don't use the live ones while you're testing your app. I can't emphasize this enough. It's very important. But now we have this nicely set up here. And then, you would link it to a store at some point because, you would then link it and send the store link because they're actually going to review your store package. So consider that as well. You need to successfully link it to the store. And if you have it linked, you would look up your app name. And then, you would just paste the store link or the ID or the developer name, and then you would select it from a drop-down list so it's fully linked and the ads are, you're being paid out for that. But that's essentially it with the AdMob implementation. So now Despia is still building. Perfect, that's great. Now we can actually implement this on the front end. So if you go to lovable.despia.com, you will see the documentation here. And, if we go down, we will see this Lovable prompt. So we can just copy this beautiful prompt here. There you go. We can just copy this beautiful prompt here. And we can now go to Lovable and we can paste this. And now I'm going to ask it a few things. And I'm going to add to that. On the store page, allow users to watch 5 ads a day max and get let's do 5 coins per ad watched. Okay, and then let's say make it like a progress tracker look with milestones looking like coins, 5 ones that can be reached a day. Right? And then I'm going to say only show this option for subscription users. Very important, right? Because we don't want subscribed people to see this. And then what we also want to do, implement safeguards on the backend that users can only watch 5 ads per day and only get 5 ad rewards a day. Nothing more. Okay, now let's correct the grammar here. Nothing more. There you go. That's very important. And then I also want to do inside of here also send daily push notifications to users who are unsubscribed, who have not watched any ads that today to check in and get free coins today to keep users engaged. Use the existing one signal integration we have for that. Now, with the one signal integration, I made a video about that. Make sure to check that out. But this is the master prompt. This will lead us to the victory. So let's send this to Lovable, and now it's going to implement this beautifully inside of our application. Let's check. Despia, you see, it just finished. The application is done. It should be now in a couple of minutes on the App Store. And now we can already start building the Android application. So we can also test this on an Android device. And then, we can make money or test money for now, with AdMob. And then we will get our paycheck from Google. How cool is that? And now it's modifying the database. It's setting all of that up so we can track this. It's a secure system. Always make sure that you don't allow people to have more than X amount of ads watched a day, because there are click farms. There are all kinds of ways how people can go around certain safeguards that are being implemented in AdMob and Despia. There's always a way, there are always robots that can do all kinds of stuff. So you want to have a limit set on the back end, because that's not something where a robot can just log in randomly, or it shouldn't. Make sure your backend is secure. But this is where you want to put in those safeguards, restrict the user IDs, which are related to the unique device, from watching X amount of ads a day, like adding little logic to, kind of like recognize pattern of people that are, trying to, extort the system and trying to get, trying to see how they can kind of like, use more than they should. Now, this only happens if you're like providing, let's say, AI generations. There are going to be maybe some people, but it's very unlikely. But there could be some people who are trying to use this where they have like automated phone farms of, 500 Android devices, like cheap $40 Android phones that are just like, programmatically doing stuff in your app. That's why you want to limit it, because there's always going to be a risk of being exposed to such things in your app if you have an app. Now, you do have jailbreak protection, which should protect in some cases, but there are always ways how people can go around that. Like I would never trust any protection, even the best one in the world. And even, some of the guardrails that AdMob itself has built in, because there are always going to be smart people who will find workarounds. So the way you protect yourself from giving out too much coins for free is by having a limit on the database, how much each account can create, because it is going to be a little bit of effort for people to create millions of accounts on your app. And, that's just something to consider. So this is why we have a limit. And what you want to usually do is you want people to get coins for stuff that doesn't cost you money. So the apps that I see use AdMob are short drama apps. The apps I see use AdMob are video games. Some random apps that use local AI models, which we're going to add to Despia, by the way, because they don't cost anything to run. And if they sell an in-app purchase, it's 100% profit margin, minus, of course, the 30% or 15% that Apple takes, or Google. But it's 100% profit margin, so they can afford giving stuff out for free, because whatever they're getting from AdMob, and even if there is abuse, it's free for them, right? So you want to use ads to unlock features that are free for you. Don't use ads to unlock stuff that costs you money, because again, there are click farms, there are automated bot farms somewhere on the other side of the world that could use, and could do those things. There's never a 100% secure way to implement those things. So when you implement those things, make sure you're giving out people stuff that is completely worthless but has a value to them. Or it doesn't cost you anything, right? So it now implemented this very nicely. Let's take a look at this here. There you go. It's even triggering the haptic here. That's nice. Look at this. Now we're watching the rewarded ad. It implemented the Despia SDK correctly. Very nice. It even added some logging inside of here. So let's update this application. I know I have security issues, but they're not from this implementation. They're from another one. I'll make a video about how to fix them and how to do proper security scans on Lovable. But There you go. Now this is updating. Now the nice thing about Despia is we actually have updates over there. So everything I changed inside of here is already now published on the application. So let's see, where do we see the rewards? I think we need to go to the store page, but it's not in the menu, right? So let's double check. Let's see, your coin balance, total daily spending. Where the heck did it add the reward page? Oh, I think it only runs if it's in the mobile app. Let's see. Let's ask the chat. Where is the reward page? Can we add a banner to it on the tasks page if the user has no subscriptions, and also add it to the mobile menu bar? Let's see. I think it just created a different page called rewards or something. Notifications, store, progress, notes. No, it didn't. Where the heck did it go? I think it may just show it on the native application. That could be the case. Let's also see our Android build was also successful. So that is nice. So we're going to look into that. But now, so you can see the current situation is actually in the store. Progress, notifications. Let's see. And we're definitely probably not going to see it. We're not going to see it because I think it's hiding it if it's not in the mobile app, because we don't have like Google AdSense implemented for the web version, which we could. We could do Google AdSense on the web version, AdMob on the mobile version, and then, we can make money both ways. That's also something. But let's just implement the plan. I think this is going to improve the UI anyway. And we're just going to wait till this is done. And then we're also going to now, already open the iOS application and promote the release on Android. So I now opened the Google Play console and I opened my mobile application here. That's on the store. And I just go to test and release. And then I go to testing and I go to internal testing. And then I see this draft that Despia automatically uploaded. And I'm just going to go to edit release. And I'm going to go on next. And then we're going to wait a little bit. We'll do save and publish, save and publish. There you go. And now we have this all live. So now all the testers that are, testing through this link here, they can now update and test the latest AdMob demo. There you go. So now let's double check on Lovable. This seems to be good. Okay. Still not seeing it on the web version, but I do think it is because we're not in the mobile app. Not enough coins, purchase more. I want to assume that it is. Let's say I do not see it on web. Do we only show it in Despia? Let's see. It could be that it implemented this, which I think is a good way of implementing it, because again, we would then probably show AdSense in the web version. Okay, so this is fine. I just wanted to double check. I just needed to double check Lovable. Okay, so let's update this and let's publish anyway. Yeah, this looks good. Now it's publishing, and now we can actually test the mobile application on my phone. Ooh, publishing failed. Let's try that again. And then we'll be able to try the mobile version. And I'm going to get my phone ready to try this out. So let me share my phone with you. And then we'll see, how this works. Perfect. Okay, it should be coming through. And then as you can see, now we have the store also in the page here, which is nice. So let's see. Ooh, why is my phone not coming through? Let's try that one more time. Okay. I apologize for the bad reception. Okay. Now it's going. There you go. Perfect. So now we just need to go. And it's not really loading and coming through. So how about I plug in the cable? Let's see, does that do the trick? No, it just asked me now to do an update. Okay. We'll have some technical difficulties. We'll try this again. So I finally got it working. So let's try updating the app here on test flight. So let's update it. Again, it's a native app, and you see the beautiful liquid glass icon. It automatically optimizes it for liquid glass with the icon. It's quite neat. But there you go. It's now downloading the application. Let's open it. And my problem is I'm logged in on an account and it also removed. Oh no, actually, it still kept it. Very nice. I'm on an account that already has coins and has an active subscription, so I'm not seeing it. So I have to log out here. And I just discovered that our application doesn't have a logout button. So here's what we need to do. If you ever face yourself in that situation, just delete the app. Just like this. And then just install it again. That'll clear all the cookies, the cache, and that will log you out. But you should probably also have a logout button in your app, at least for testing. Okay, let's allow all the stuff again. Okay, and let's log in here with an account that is not linked to anything. So actually, let me just try doing an email account. I think that'll do a better job. So let's do hello, and I need to actually sign up. So let's do, hey, hello at Despia.com. Let's do hello, random number. Then we'll do hello, 1, 2, 3. Okay. Oh, it's loading because I clicked on, we got to improve this a little bit. Let me try signing up again. Signing up is always the most complicated part in some of those apps. Let's call this, hey, we got to improve that. I'll make a video how to make the login experience better because this is ridiculous here. So let's do hello, blah, 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 blah. Never ask user for the name. You don't care about their name. You care about them signing up. There you go. Too much friction. We should also have autofill. We should set that up in the next video. And we'll do hello, 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's sign up for this app. Okay, there you go. Now I go on my rewards. And now, so you can see, I can watch the free coins. And also, like, you see how this, like, jumps? It's actually an iOS 26 issue. We're working on finding a workaround for that. So by the time this video is out, it's probably already fixed. But as you can see, I have my daily coins. It's very inspired based on all of those short drama apps. And now I can watch my ad. Look at this. I'm watching my beautiful ad. And now I can dismiss the ad because now I got my reward. And you see how I just got the reward? I can now watch another ad for Bingo Blast. Look at this. Who doesn't want Bingo Blast? They can get it on the App Store. Oh, the app is not available. They probably already blocked them. Okay, we got Bingo Blast. Perfect. Let's close that one. And now, so you can see, we already got our next reward. So let's watch another ad. Flood. It's the same guy from Bingo Blast. Seems like he got some side gigs. There you go. Perfect. Now you see we got another reward unlocked. Let's watch another Bingo Blast again. Look at that. Okay. There you go. Let's skip Bingo Blast. You see how we got another reward? And we got Flood again. I seem to be paying hard on those advertisement dollars on AdMob. There you go. Let's close that. And now I can't reach those anymore. So now I got all my rewards set up. Also, just FYI. Oh, it seems like opening the AdMob fixed the iOS 26 issue. The iOS 26 issue, I know about it because when you enter into something, when you open the keyboard, it then breaks the fixed spacing for fixed elements. There is a workaround for this already. It's making the page container 100 view height and then containing the elements within it. That'll fix it 100%. But again, you know, fixed elements should still work. And it's an iOS 26 issue. We hope that Apple fixes it, but we're already working on a workaround that we know will work, and it will be implemented in the next update with Despia that is fixing it, so we're fixing it before Apple gets a chance to fix it. There you go. But if you are shipping your app tomorrow, and you're seeing this video today, and you still need this fix, just make the main container 100 VH. They'll fix the whole thing, and then you can even make it fixed in a 100 VH container. That should perfectly work. The issue is just the 100 VH, that the container needs to have a fixed height, and that should fix the whole situation. But, you know, there you go. And now I can't get any rewards anymore, because I already reached mine for today. And, you know, I think we just got some dollars from Bingo Blast. But there you go. That's how you implement this. And now we're just going to test this on Android as well. So I just updated the Android application and we can now watch an ad for 5 coins. There you go. Beautiful apartments. Look at that. Okay, we got it granted. And as you can see, we got a reward. We can watch another ad. And we got the guy from Bingo Blast again. There you go. Reward granted. Let's close this. You see, we just got another reward. And now we got this reward granted as well. I'm just seeing that we're actually not getting any coins for watching them. It's probably something we want to fix because you see, we already have an existing coin system. The coin system just doesn't coin that well. So this is something that we should get fixed. And let me just disconnect the Android. I just wanted to show that it works on Android. Android is just for showcases. Okay, let's close that Android here. And we'll continue on iOS, because I like iOS. Let's say the AdMob integration works amazingly, but the issue is that when the user watches an ad, it marks it as watched, but the coin balance of our existing coin system does not increase. Okay, so marks. Okay, let's send it to that and let's see what it's coming up with, what kind of a plan it has for this. So we'll see. I will assume that the coin balance is already linked to the Revenue Cat webhook and it's not linked to them being able to watch ads. So this is probably why there's a problem. But let's double check. Let's see. Let me check the Edge function logs to see what's happening. Good. I can see the backend is working. The issue is that the frontend isn't updating to reflect the new gen. I mean, when I reload it, I'm not getting the latest ones. Process ad is rewarded. The function is updating the coins balance. Let's say we are getting the coins balance from Revenue Cat. And we are logging the watched ads as well. Can we mix them together for the balance in an accurate API call, right? Because we're already getting coins from somewhere else, and we now need to build a system that orchestrates the coins they get from watching ads and the coins that they get from paying money to us, right? Because we also do have support for in-app purchases. So, as you can see, if I will share my screen again, I just watched all those ads. I should receive plenty of coins now, but, I'm still having 0 coins. But then if I buy coins, right? Let's do an in-app purchase here. Look at that, beautiful. The coins will go up, but I'm not getting the coins added from watching the ads, right? So that is, you see how it now got the ads purchased, and because I purchased the ads, the coins, and I now get pro access by purchasing them, which is actually something that shouldn't happen in Revenue Cat. We got to fix that. I got to make a video about that. I think we had it working at the other video, and then I asked something else, and I probably thought it was a good idea to change the whole thing. Our existing working system works, because sometimes it likes to do that. But we'll look into that. I'll make a video debugging Revenue Cat issues, and how to check if your backend is doing what it's supposed to do. But now I can purchase the coins, but watching the ads doesn't add to the coins. And also, I should still be able to watch ads because I shouldn't have pro entitlement access. Because I don't have a weekly subscription. It's mismatching the webhooks, but I'll make a separate video about them because that's also a different issue, which I think needs a dedicated video. But let's look into this. Now I understand you have two separate coin balance systems. Yes, perfect. I'm glad it understands it now. So let's implement the plan. This will take a little bit, and then when it's done, we'll take a look at this together again. I just published it, I deinstalled the app and installed it again, created a new account, and it perfectly works. Take a look at this. Let's watch an ad, and again, it's the guy from Bingo Blast. There you go. We'll just wait till this is done. Okay, and now we can close this, and as you can see, now we got 10 coins, and it just did some nice haptic feedback and all that kind of stuff, so it perfectly works now. And this is how you monetize your application and make money from free users using AdMob. How cool is that? Look at this. They get to enjoy those beautiful Bingo Blast ads, and they're going to get some coins they can spend for random stuff in your app. Should be free stuff. It updates their coin balance. And then there you go. They can have their daily check-in bonus. And then, you can use in-app notifications, push notifications to keep them hooked to your app, to go back, to check in again. Highly suggested to learn some marketing concepts from all those drama apps. They do very well. They get people engaged. They keep them in the app with having to watch ads and getting coins they can spend and, sending those daily reminders. That's a great way how you can keep people hooked, even if they don't have a plan, and maybe you can even make more money off them checking into the application daily than if you would do if they would be on a subscription. There you go. Thank you so much for watching, and if you have any questions, please let me know. Take care. Bye.